What's up, LEGO fans? Loki Lego here with another video for you, and today we're going to be looking at the newly released pictures for 4 sets that will be coming out in January 2021. One of them is the Trouble on Tatooine set, which I already did a more extensive look at in a previous video, but I'll give a brief review of that at the end. But first, let's start with the set 75300. This set is going to cost around 40 euros, and it is basically a medium side, a medi-scale TIE fighter. It's clearly going to be a bit smaller than the more recent TIE fighters we've had, but will be bigger than the juniors version that came out, I think last year or maybe the end of the year before. But yeah, this is the first real proper look that we've had. This has obviously been released by LEGO themselves, so we know that this is the real deal. We'll have a Stormtrooper, a TIE Fighter pilot, and a droid of some sort, which, yeah, they are what they are. I'm not particularly fond of the minifigures in that they're not really anything special. I mean, obviously the TIE Fighter pilot and the Stormtrooper we've had before, and I mean, if you collect droids, great. Otherwise, not so much. The TIE Fighter itself, I mean, it looks nice for what it is, you know, medium scale. It looks like they've built it nicely, but yeah, I mean, it's cheaper, but you know, it's also noticeable in how it looks. So while I'll probably end up picking this one up, it's definitely not something that I think we needed in LEGO Star Wars, especially for, you know, adult fans of LEGO. We don't really need another TIE Fighter in a medium scale, but I can understand that for the newer, younger audience, that this might be something that makes it more accessible for them to get a TIE Fighter and add it to their collection. I'm very curious to see what this one looks like side by side with one of the older TIE Fighters, and until I see that, I think I'm going to reserve my final opinion, and let's move on to the next one that has been released. So here we have set 75295, which is the Millennium Falcon Microfighter. This one's going to cost about 10 euros, and I mean, it's pretty similar to the previous 2 Millennium Falcon Microfighters that we've had. This time we get Han Solo again with the new hair piece that they add on the Han Solo figures recently. The last one had Chewbacca, and before that we still had the old headpiece mold on the Han Solo figure, but really compared to the first Millennium Falcon from Series 1, I'm not really seeing that many differences. I'm sure there are some small differences, maybe different colors, different, I think the shooters on top are different. I think there was flick fire missiles on the original one, and this is stud shooters, but I think that's the same as the last Microfighter Millennium Falcon we had. It's got 101 pieces, but I don't really have much to say about this. I'll add it to the collection because I have all the Microfighters and I want to keep up that streak, but aside from that, nothing really new or special here. Nothing to really get too excited about. So the third set we have here is set 75301, and this is Luke Skywalker's X-Wing fighter, and it has 474 pieces. I believe this one's going to cost around 50 euros. And yeah, I mean, it looks quite good. Again, it's a sort of medium scale, medi-scale build of an X-Wing, rather than the maybe more expensive 70-80 euro ones that we've had in recent years. I'd be curious again to see this one side by side with one of those more recent X-Wing fighters, see what the exact, you know, level of scale difference is, and where exactly you can tell that the differences are in the size and also in the quality of the build. I think it looks quite good though overall. You have an R2-D2, you have, you know, obviously Luke Skywalker and Princess Leia, and I think that's, I'm not quite sure what his name is, General Dobona or something along those lines. Please don't get too mad if I got that wrong. But yeah, I mean, for minifigures, you know, a decent looking X-Wing. This is definitely, of these three, probably my favorite of the three. I'm curious to know the dimensions, but aside from that, I think this has worked for them, right? Like cheaper X-Wing without losing, you know, some of the scale, because it still looks quite considerably big. It's a bit of a shame that it has to be a Luke Skywalker X-Wing again, or even Poe Dameron has had a lot of X-Wings lately. Maybe it would have been nice to have a bit more of a unique X-Wing build that's not always focused on those two characters, but we can't always get what we want. Lastly, we have the set 75299, the Trouble on Tatooine that I mentioned earlier. Yeah, I mean, check out my other video. I'll put the link below in the description that goes into more detail on this set. But summary, I think this set, the things that are in it are great. I just wish there was more, and that, you know, we really could explore this scene from the episode and enjoy all the different features and have a Cobb Vanth, maybe even some sort of dragon creature. I think it's a crate dragon to fight against. That would have been great. But what's in it is good, and I'll definitely be picking it up. So for these sets, I think I'll probably definitely pick up the Trouble on Tatooine. I'll pick up the Microfighter for sure, because yeah, I won't be able to help myself, and for €10, it's not a bad set to get. For the other two, I'm probably going to wait until there's a good deal, and then I might pick them up, but they're not going to be high on my priority list when they come out in January, so maybe you won't see a set review until late next year for those two, if I'm waiting for them to go on clearance. But let me know what you think of these sets, what you think of the pictures, and I'm very curious if you like the look of them. Personally, I don't think this wave is too promising, but who knows, maybe I'm wrong and these sets are so much better than they look, and we'll just have to see. But yeah, I'd be very curious to know what you think, and if you like this video, leave a like, leave a comment, and if you like the channel, it'd be great if you subscribed, and we'll see you in the next one.